Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome again to another painting tutorial. Today I'll be painting a swan, and for the information of if you're new here, I started my painting journey with a swan painting, and I still have it with me because it's just memorable. It's just the beginning of everything in my life, art journey wise. So today I'll be painting a swan, and the colors that I'll be mentioning in the description, or the colors that I'll be mentioning in this introduction, will be listed in the description box below. And as you can see here, my wooden sheet is a square one. So just get yourself a material that is square, that has 4 equal sides. It doesn't have to be big or small. It's up to you. As long as it's proportioned to my canvas or to my material that I'm painting on, just get yourself some square material. And I already painted it with some gray color. As you can see here, it's more of a dark up here, and actually it really doesn't matter. This will serve as the underpainting, but basically we'll be using only a few colors today. A lot of them will be black and white because we'll be painting a white swan. So I'm just so excited, and it's actually evening here in Chicago, and I'm doing a painting tutorial before going to bed. So I'm gonna sketch first a subject. I think my canvas is already, the paint is already relatively dry, that I can actually put a layer of sketch on it. So I'll be using white just to sketch where the subject is gonna go, but I'll be painting over it, as I go. Or maybe I'm just going to show you how the background waters will look like, so that we don't have to um, go over it when the swan is already here. All right, what do you think? I think that's better. Just to finish first the background waters before proceeding to the foreground or to the main subject, which is the swan. So for the waters, it will be more calm. Okay, we will not be doing a lot of movement because the focus of the subject or the painting is the swan. So I'll be getting my black. So just get yourself black paint, oxide black. And I know that this is a little bit wet, but I'm just gonna go and make some depth in the water. Again, just paint your canvas or paper with some gray color that will serve as the underpainting. And I'm using black. I'm doing some lines like that. Okay. Actually, to suggest the background waters, we'll be doing a more abstractish type of background, but it will be suggestive of waters. That makes sense. Okay. Very calm. Yeah. Well, swans are usually found in calm waters, not really the seas or the oceans, right? So, yeah, this definitely makes sense. Okay, now I'm gonna get my white. Without washing my brush, I'm just gonna grab some white. So if I'm not washing my brush and I grab some white, definitely the white will not be pure white, because so black will be still there. So I'm just gonna go and create some more lines. They're not really straight lines because we're painting water, but if you're painting along with me, I suggest that you first watch the video so that it makes sense to you when you actually do it yourself. So we're doing some highlights in the waters. I'm just going in between those dark lines that we had earlier, and just use gray. I will definitely go back to the waters, but I want to do the waters before the foreground or the main subject, simply because I don't want to damage the swan painting by going over uh, or by going around the shape of the swan. Okay, that's why we're doing the water first, the water background. The center of it, a lot of that space will be filled with the swan shape. So Doesn't really matter how perfect you do the water, as long as your background is suggestive of waters. So I'm going to grade this down. You can add water so that it looks more watery. Literally use water for water paintings. I'm going to use more white. Now, if you have your hair dryer beside you, you can use that to dry the painting, um, just to make things a little bit more fast. But I think my paints dry pretty quickly, relatively. All right, so the swan will be right here. Okay. All right. Gonna wash my brush out. Again, that's just the background. Okay. We will go back to that later. But yeah, we just had to do that so that we don't have to do that when the swan painting is already there. Okay, I'm gonna get my pure white and I'm gonna start sketching the subject because I'm just so excited to start the swan painting. So using white, I'm just gonna sketch it, okay? Since I'm freehanding everything, if I need to correct some areas, okay, I will just do it while doing the painting. This is just paints. You can definitely, it should be you over the painting, okay? Not the other way around. You are the master of your own painting, and therefore, if you commit a mistake, correct it. The painting will not correct itself because it doesn't have a mind of its own. Okay. You're always the master of your own work. Okay. I'm giving you this advice, especially for those just beginning their art journey. I want you to believe in what you can do, not on what you think you can't do. Okay, I'm gonna go and shape the head. Again, since this is freehand, okay, definitely errors will be committed. Okay, be open to that idea, but also um, don't be afraid to correct any areas that you find weird looking. I'm gonna go with the neck. So this will be the body of the swan. Right. Definitely, I will make a correction simply because I feel like it's just too it's the leaning towards the right more than I'm not occupying this space. That's the thing with freehand painting. So I'm gonna make adjustments. Okay, don't worry, I can do it. So I'm just making some adjustments, very minor. I just move it a little bit towards the left side. Right. You won't even notice the difference. There you go. All right. So there you go. That's basically the shape of our swan. Again, if there are things that need to be corrected, I will do that in the middle of the painting. Okay? You don't have to worry too much about painting over what you already did. It's okay because this is not the final look anyway. Okay, I'm gonna use a bigger brush because it doesn't seem to be very when I use small brush, I only cover a small area. So I'm gonna use a wider brush. I'm gonna get my gray and I'm gonna start underpainting this area with gray. Since our background is gray, it's super easy to just paint over this area. The background is already gray. Okay? But then again, we're doing the underpainting for the swan. Okay. And you can definitely notice how my brush strokes are going. They're not really going in any particular direction. I'm actually moving in more circular in a combination of diagonal and vertical brush strokes simply because swans have what do you call that, feathers. Is that feather? I think it's called feathers, right? It's not fur. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think swans have feathers and not fur. Fur is for like cat or dog. I'm gonna go and create some. Actually, this is the right color for the neck of the swan, but I'm just gonna paint over it because I don't want the brush strokes. It's diagonal looking. I'm gonna darken the head portion or the neck portion, not the head portion. Also, right here. I'm gonna darken this simply because it's not really receiving enough light, and maybe I'm gonna make it longer, the neck. Okay, and I'm gonna darken this area as well. Okay, just like that. I'm gonna darken the neck. Okay. Now I'm not gonna wash my brush. I'm just gonna go over certain areas. Oops. And applying pure white right here. Right, just like that. That is basically the underpainting for the swan's body. All right, and now I'm gonna darken the head, or I'm gonna shade the head of the swan. Okay, that's very preliminary. Just like that. I'm gonna wash my brush out. I'm gonna get my black. As you can see here, we haven't used any other color, right? Just black and white. So I'm gonna use my black to go around this portion or this area under the swan. This is to give it shadow or reflections in the water. Okay, just like that. And I'm gonna go and create some sort of reflections right here. All right, just like that. And I'm gonna do some watered down black, and I'm gonna do some more watery reflections. What did I say? Watery reflections? I mean, distorted versions of the image. Okay. I'm gonna get my white, but since I'm not washing my brush, it will appear more gray than white. So be soft with your brush strokes. You don't want to create any harsh lines, any hard lines just yet. All right. And pure white. And while we are using pure white, while it's true that we're using pure white, since we're not, I keep saying it, okay? Since we're not really washing our brush, it will always combine with the black paint that we already have in our paintbrush. And I really don't suggest that you wash your brush. When I say don't wash your brush, I intend subtle color mixing, okay, without actually doing it. That makes sense. Okay, again, soften. Always soften your brush strokes. Imagine that you are doing your makeup. Okay. If you're applying makeup, guy or female or male, um, if you're using makeup, apply it in a very soft manner. Apply some water down white right here. Again, these are background waters, suggestive of reflections. I will definitely use a little bit of blue later, blue color. So just prepare your phthalo blue or primary blue. Let me check. Okay, so you already see where this is going to go. Okay, we will be softening the waters later. For now, let's do this step by step. All right, just like that. Now I want to get my black paint. You get your black, and I'm using a more pointy brush just to do some detailing. We're just gonna start doing some details on the face of our swan. Okay. All right, and then using black, I'm just gonna go around the shape of our swan. This separation line will make the swan look, um, well, literally separated from the waters, from the background waters. We don't want our swan to be looking like it's just pasted on top of the water painting. I'm gonna add more dark colors right here. Right. Okay, just like that. Now let's get some red color. I will be using permanent magenta. Okay. You can use red, but permanent magenta is more natural. It's more muted than just red. Okay. Pure red, um, it's not really natural looking, at least from my point of view. It's not really natural looking. So you can use muted red. And in my case, I'm using permanent magenta. And I'm just going to go and create the mouth or the beak, sorry, not the mouth. You can hear some dogs barking outside the building. Okay. I'll make some adjustments. Okay. I'm going to grab my black and add some more. Okay. Like that. Again, you want to separate the swan from the background waters. So add some black. Just go around the shape of the swan. But of course, you don't want that outline to be super prominent. You don't want this to look very cartoonish. Okay. You just want subtle suggestion of separation. All right. Now, this is generally dry. I'm going to use another brush. I'm gonna make some highlights. So I'll be using pure white. Okay. And I mentioned already that we'll be using a little bit of blue. Okay. But for now, let's just move. Let's just go with the white and black first. The black and white. I'm using pure white this time, using a clean brush. And I'm gonna go and make some suggestion of highlights on the white swan. So some areas will be grayer than the others, and some areas will be really, really bright white, where the light is hitting or where it is receiving um, more light compared to the others. And also try to observe my brush strokes, okay? That's how you learn more than just listening to me talking. It's more on observation. Okay. I'm just highlighting certain areas here and the top of the body, the back. Okay. Just be careful not to um, paint over some areas on the face. If the spaces are already tight, just be careful when you apply this. Definitely, I won't be whitening all parts of this one because that will defeat the purpose of highlights. Highlights are supposed to be like distributed uh, on the image, but they are not supposed to be like in your face highlighted. They're not supposed to be highlighting everything, okay? Highlights only select which part should be brighter and which part should be more lit. Okay. And I'm gonna do some circular brush strokes just to, imitate that patterns on the swan's body. This will add more softness. Okay, again, pure white. I'm not changing my color. Okay, pure white. All right. And now the head will be highlighting the topmost portion of the head, but not everything. Okay. Okay. Since my wooden sheet is really absorbent, I will definitely go over the the swan many times because I want the white to be really, really pure white. But when your material is very absorbent, it will remove from it that brightness. So layer as much as you need to. It really depends on the material that you're using. Okay, now I'm gonna dry brush on the neck part. And as you can see, I'm just gonna go and make some rotating brush strokes. Okay, I'm just also allowing the paintbrush to do the job for me. Imagine you're paying your paintbrush to do the job for you. That's how I think of it. Now I'm gonna make some short, like dabs, short dabs, just to imitate the feathers. I call it feathers. Please correct me if I'm wrong. If they are not called feathers, please let me know. The feathers. I think there are feathers because this is a bird. And birds have feathers, right? Just like that. So just dab, dab, dab. All right. Mm. Okay, now for this area, I'm just going to use watered down white. And again, we don't want to remove that um, darkness. Not because it's black, but because of absence of light. Okay, so just like that. You can see that I'm just tapping just to create some softness. Okay, now I'm going to get my blue. So just a tiny bit of blue color. Using my blue, I'm going to dab on some blue colors. Okay, not because it's blue, but because of light. Okay, we'll be going over it later just to make sure that it's a white swan. But because of light, some colors appear to be not white or not pure white. These are just hints of color caused by the light. Right, and also using blue, I'm just gonna go and make some bluey colors on the waters. Again, try to be soft in your brush strokes, especially when you're doing the waters. I'm gonna get my white, and as you can see, I'm not really washing my brush. With this type of subject, we don't really want to wash it often. Again, I want you to observe more than listen. Of course, listening is important, but I want you to observe more. Right, and I'm gonna add a little bit of bluey color right here. And then some white. Okay, I'm gonna use some more pointy brush. I really want to shape the mouth more properly. So I'm gonna use my white, okay, just to correct the shape. So to correct this one. Just like that. And then just to fix this part, I'm gonna fix this one. Mhm. I'm gonna darken again this one. Right. Great. Okay. Now using some watered down white, we're gonna go back to the waters because we don't want the water to be looking little, not watery. So I'm gonna water down some white and I'm just gonna go and paint, okay, like what do you call that? Glaze. We're gonna glaze it using water down white just to make the background waters more soft looking. And then now I'm gonna get my black, pure black. Let's go back. Okay, you want to make sure that you use more water than usual so that your brush strokes will appear more soft and water looking. So again, I'm just using black and I'm just making some markings really. And if you can hear again some ambulance or fire, nice. That's all I can say. It happens even at night when, it happens during the day. Well, it can happen anytime anyway. But the thing is that I chose night painting to avoid noise. But then, you know, you really cannot absolutely avoid that. All right, let's go back to the swan since I think it's generally dry and I can paint over it, I can layer. So for that, I'll be using a different brush just for us to be able to create some sort of fluffiness. Okay, so I'm gonna try this one out. I'll be using this type of brush. It's quite stiff as to the bristles, okay, because with this brush, it will not be super smooth application. It will give texture to the appearance of the painting. So I'm gonna use this type of brush and I'm just gonna use my pure white. And I'm gonna try, if it doesn't work, I'm gonna change my brush, in real time. This is not planned. I haven't really painted the exact painting, okay, but we're gonna try. And I just dabbed it onto my pure white and I'm gonna go back to the painting. And as you can see here, the way I'm dabbing it, it's more of a, call this, very like rough and not dragging the paintbrush on canvas. Because again, we want to create the illusion of fluffiness. We may not absolutely achieve that, but still, we want that. And we're going to do our best to get that. Almost dry brushing. And I'm also using some tapping technique. Okay. Right. I'm gonna get my blue. Okay, I'm just gonna wet it a bit, just a bit, and I'm gonna get my blue color, just like what we did earlier. And I'm gonna create some bluey spots. All right. Mhm. I'm gonna use another small brush. Gonna get the white, and I'm just gonna go highlight the top of the head. And here, I'm going to highlight this part super bright. Oh, that was a loud. Oh my god. Why? I can't believe it. I'm so sorry, guys. Right, I'm gonna make some white markings here. But I think you already got used to hearing those sort of noises whenever I'm painting. Every time I'm painting, oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna highlight a bit this part. So just apply watered down white so that it's more bright. Let me check. This is actually nice. I like it. Whoops. So sorry. What was that? Oh. Okay, now I'm gonna use my palette knife. Okay, I really want this to look really, really fluffy. So I'm gonna use the back of the palette knife and create some more texture. Okay. Just create more texture, just like that. I haven't mentioned this. I don't know if I don't remember saying that when I think I did already. Um, when I do fur or feathers, I use palette knife to create that pattern. Right. More. Now I'm gonna use some blue colors, and I'm gonna go under the swan. Again, you don't want to do too much of this. Okay, you don't want to do too much of this detail. Just subtle, like that. All right. Now I'm gonna create some more highlights on the water because it will add life to this painting. So using some pure white, water down, okay, okay, just like this. So making your brush strokes really soft. And I love, love, love using my hand directly, like finger painting. Okay, so if you're not a fan of finger painting, well, I'm not a big fan of just limiting myself to just using my paintbrush in painting because my hands are more in control when it comes to painting than when I'm holding a paintbrush. Again, I'm using water down white to give it really soft appearance. The waters should be soft. You don't want your waters to be looking so stiff um, and not watery at all. So just add more water if necessary. All right, let me check. This is actually nice. I love it, but I'm gonna soften even more the the look of this one. I'm gonna add more white. And now I'm gonna use watered down black. Black this time, just to give this more depth and dimension. So watered down black, okay? And I'm gonna glaze it on the neck part, especially. Simply because the neck part is not really receiving good light. Okay, just like that. So the contrast of darkness and brightness will provide the painting with the illusion of 3D. Okay, so I'm gonna darken this as well. Okay, now using gray color. So just mix your white and black. And we'll be using some gray color. And I'm gonna do some glazing over this water. But you don't want to paint over, you know, this area. You just want to glaze it, meaning there's a suggestion of softness without, however, removing the details that we already did. Okay, I'm gonna use black and darken the under this area immediately under the swan. You know, it's late in the evening already, and it's getting hard for me to speak. I'm so sorry, guys, but I think I'm still making sense, or I hope I'm still making sense to you. Okay, like that. Mhm. And using a small brush, I'm just going to redefine the neck because we kind of lost its shape when we were highlighting everything. Again, we want to make sure that the neck is separate from from the rest of the body. Okay. A little bit of blue colors, just dab. And then using black, let's redefine the beak. We don't want this beak to be disappearing just because we keep on highlighting. Just like that. And using pure white, let's go back to the head and highlight the head. Some more water effects. We're going to highlight this part of the neck. I'm using watered down white. Some highlights. All right, just highlight that. All right, let me see. I like this. All right, and then for the final touches, we're just gonna go back to the swan and let's make it more soft. So fill in the spaces that you think is uh, bald. Okay, fill in the spaces that you think are bald. Okay, my English. When it's bedtime, my English is getting a little weird. Okay, I'm just adding more highlight on the waters. Also here, just final. Okay, final touches. But then if you know me, I'm gonna go for more. Okay, using some white. Because I really want the swan to really appear white. Okay, just a tiny detailing. that I don't want to miss. We want to go around this area. Right, good. All right, just like that. Okay. Under the neck. Mhm. And don't forget to darken this area. All right. Wow, this is nice, guys. Isn't this nice? Kind of like this one. Kind of like this one. This is just me. This is so me. Okay. Let's do some more fixing. But basically, we are done. Just adding some more white highlights. Of course, you may do away with this step that I'm doing, these last steps that I'm doing. It's fine, but I want to do it. And I want to show you that I'm doing it. I want to have some suggestions of blue. Those blue are just subtle. Mhm. Great. Okay, I think I'm gonna sign this now. This is okay with me. I think we did a great job. Okay, I'm gonna use, of course, my white. You can use gray, whatever color that you want. However, I'm using white simply because, or maybe I'm gonna use black. All right, I changed my mind. I'm gonna sign right here. I need more water. Okay, I'm gonna sign right here. And we're finished. So I hope you enjoy that one. And I hope you have a good night if you're like me in the US. It's what, 10 p.m. Just gonna have to, I accidentally touched this area, and I'm gonna reshape it. I'm very sensitive when it comes to the shape of the painting. All right, so I hope you enjoy this one, and I hope you paint with me, paint along with me, and I'm gonna link in the description box below some other related tutorials so that you can select from a lot of them. So see you in my next one, guys. Have a good night. Have a great day wherever you are. I love you. What? Love you guys. Bye.